Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today on The Budget Sportsman. We're in that time of year again, that holiday season. Right now, at the time of this recording, we're in the Thanksgiving week. And so I just want to stop, take a minute and say I am so thankful for my family and for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who has redeemed me from sin and given me a home in heaven to look forward to. If you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to leave a comment down below or send me a message on Facebook. I'd love to tell you more about it. Today I want to give you 10 gift ideas that maybe if you are an outdoorsman, you want to add to your Christmas list. Or if you've got a hunter, fisherman, outdoor type of guy or girl on your Christmas list that you're trying to shop for, then I want to give you 10 gift ideas. And let me also mention I did a similar video last year with 15 gift ideas, and so I'll leave a link for that right up in the corner and you can go check that out as well for some additional ideas beyond just these ideas. Now, what I want to mention is that last year all of my gift ideas were pretty much products that I'd already owned and used for the most part, with a few very minimal exceptions. This year, I'm pretty much giving you all items that I don't really have a lot of experience with. A few I do, but they're ideas that maybe I have on my Christmas list or just ideas that I think would be good for you. So instead of me showing you the physical item, we're gonna hop on the computer and take a look at some ideas over on Amazon. And we're gonna start with the smallest of budget and kind of work through all the way up to the largest of budgets. Now, let me also mention that because I don't have a lot of experience with most of these products, I've kind of picked an item in a certain category, and you can do your own research and find one that's perfect for you, but I've picked some items that I think look really great. Also, right before we get started, let me just mention that there's going to be links for a lot of these items down in the description. If you do purchase them through Amazon from those links, I do get a small percentage, and that's a big help to me. So the first item that I want to mention here we're going to be looking at is just on the budget end. It's about $12 here on Amazon, and it's a piece of camo burlap. This is something I've really wanted in the past. I've never had. There have been times that I wanted to either for turkey or deer make up a little ground blind and sit on the ground, something a little bit more lightweight that I could just tie off between two trees without carrying in a full ground blind. And this is something I think would be great for that. It would also be great for a tree stand that you could wrap around your tree stand and just block some of the motion of your legs and arms moving. So a great cheap item here. The next item here is moving up a little bit to about the $20 price mark, and this is a Thermacell portable mosquito repeller. Now, these do take little modules or little refill cartridges that go in these devices. This year we didn't have a lot of trouble with it, but I know last year in the early season, even here in Pennsylvania, the mosquitoes were just horrible. Spring turkey season, the mosquitoes can be bad, or if you live down south, you may have a lot of trouble with mosquitoes. I know a lot of hunters, I don't have one personally, but again, I know a lot of hunters who strap this to a tree right near them and say it really, really helps with the mosquito problem. And again, great gift for about $20. The next gift that I have up here, again, is about $20, $25, at least for this particular model, and it's the Gerber Bear Grylls Basic Survival or Emergency Kit. I always think that gifts that really show that you care and you want the person that you love to be safe are very thoughtful gifts. I actually have a review about this particular emergency kit or survival kit on my channel. I think it's a nice little kit. I do think there's some things that you can add to it, and maybe that's something that you want to do for your outdoorsmen is go ahead and get them an emergency kit, add to it, make it personalized, and get them something that's going to make sure they're safe when they're out in the woods. All right, number 4 on the list, and another item still in about that $20 price range, is a replaceable blade knife. This one is from Outdoor Edge. It's about $21, as you can see there. And this one's called their Everyday Carry Knife. They also make another one called the Razor and the Razor Pro, I believe. And there's also other companies that make these replaceable blade knives like Gerber, and I think Havalon is the other one. Again, this is something I don't have experience with, but I've been hearing a lot of talk about them. That when you're processing your game, your knife can go dull very quickly, whereas in this case, you always have a super sharp, super razor sharp knife blade. And if one goes dull or you break a blade or something like that, you can just pull it out and pop another one back in. And while you're processing, especially if you're out in the field, you're doing processing in the field, you can have a nice sharp blade. Again, there's multiple different models available. This is one that I just thought looked pretty cool. Again, looks like it's easy to replace the blades, and only about $21 for the knife. Number 5 on the list is a premium membership to Onyx or another scouting app for the hunter or fisherman in your life. Now, Onyx is one of the most popular scouting apps. We hear a lot about it, but there's others as well. There's Hunt Stand, there's Base Map, there's Scout Look. There's a lot of different scouting apps, and most of them offer a basic membership that's usually free and then a more premium membership. I've just chosen to bring onX up here on the screen, but again, if your hunter already uses a different app, then maybe you want to consider getting them the membership to the app they already use. onX here offers it for $30 on Amazon. This is for one state to get all the premium information. That would be for property owners and public land boundaries, a lot of neat things there on onX. Here's on their website, you can see that one state is $30 per year, and the Elite, which gives you all 50 states, is $100 a year or $14.99 per month. Also up at the top here, if you're watching this video right after it posts, there is a 30% off discount right now for onX due to the holidays. Now for number 6 on the list, there's going to be a couple of different options I'm going to show you here that have actually a varying price range. And what I want to talk about is a hoist. I have found that for me, processing my own meat and having a place to hang it up and skin it has been a huge part of the process to getting the meat exactly what I want rather than taking it off to a butcher. One thing that makes it super helpful is if you have some kind of a hoist. Again, I have a video on my channel talking about building one, but if your hunter travels a lot or they don't have property where they can build one, a hoist system like this is super, super handy to be able to hoist their game up in the tree. Now, in addition to the hoist, you're also going to need a gambrel. And this particular gambrel by HME is one that I really, really like. You'll notice at the ends of the gambrel that it actually has very U-shaped hooks, and this is great for keeping the game from sliding off those hooks when you get down to the end, and sometimes it gets out of balance. You'll notice that there actually are a lot of packages available that have a hoist and a gambrel together, but a lot of them, the gambrel comes out and just barely curves up. It doesn't have that strong U-shape, and it's super easy for that game to slip right off that gambrel. So I would recommend piecing it together and getting something that's really going to work well. Now, if you want something that's still portable but is maybe a little bit more robust and isn't dependent upon having a limb or a overhanging beam to put it on, this one here straps right onto a tree. It looks like it folds down, is super portable, and has a winch, which might actually be a little bit easier to control than the pulley system. Again, you're still going to need a gambrel to go with it, and you're looking at $90 for this particular hoist system. Number 7 on the list is a good high quality headlamp. Now, you can go into a lot of places and buy a headlamp for $1, $5, $10, and they do usually work. But one thing that I want to point out is if you're going to get a headlamp of any price for a hunter especially, you want to make sure that that lamp has either a good red or green light. It helps to keep their night vision. If they're moving to their stand, it's less bright and glowing in the woods to spook game. Just all around really great option. Now, the headlamp that I personally use does have a red lamp, but it's super, super dim. It's just not really that effective. But I've been hunting around some other guys recently who have red and green lights that are bright enough to really see what you're doing. And so I would recommend that. I don't have any experience with this particular headlamp, the Black Diamond Storm, but I watched a couple review videos, read the reviews, and this looks like a fantastic headlamp. Of course, it is a little bit more at $40 than some other budget options that you might be able to find. So again, do your research, but I think you couldn't go wrong with this Black Diamond headlamp. Number 8 on the list is a 3D target. Now, if the hunter in your life is into archery, they are probably going to really enjoy shooting at a 3D target. It's really great practice for getting out in the woods. Now, in my area, I hunt deer, but if they're big into turkey or bear or elk, you can get 3D targets in the shape of all those animals, and really enjoyable and great practice to shoot at. Now, again, I don't have history or experience with this particular target, but I chose this one because rather than having scoring rings like some targets, this actually has the shape of the internals, the vitals, where you would want to be hitting on that deer or on the animal. I think another thing to point out here is that this particular target does have a replaceable core, so if they wear out that core with a lot of shooting, you can replace it without having to replace the entire target. Again, this is $143, so we've moved up in the budget. But you can find some cheaper options if you really like the idea of a 3D target, but you don't quite have that much money in your budget. Number 9 on the list is a good quality pair of binoculars. Now, in the past, I've used these super cheap compact binoculars, or even just a larger pair of binoculars that was super budget friendly, and I just haven't been satisfied with the results. Recently, I've been working on a review and comparison of 5 different models of binoculars that range more in that $100 to $200 price range. And while they're not high-end, like the $500, $2,000 binoculars, you definitely get much better results than those super budget and super compact binoculars. And I think that if your hunter in your life doesn't have a pair of these binoculars, or if you are a hunter and don't have a pair, then I think this is something that you would really enjoy using. I've chosen to pull up the Vortex Optics Crossfire HDs here, but there's a lot of other great models available as well. Number 10 on the list is a Garmin inReach device, and obviously we've moved up in price here pretty much at the $375 price range, and I think that's even on sale. There are times I've seen it for over $400. If you don't know what the inReach device is, let me explain it, and then I'll talk to you about some cheaper alternatives to this particular model. The Garmin inReach devices are basically satellite communicators that allow you to text anybody anywhere in the world, even if you have no cell phone signal. I used to have one of the older models of these devices. I sold it and I wish I wouldn't have, but I used to be fishing offshore, 20 miles offshore, no cell phone signal, and I would still be able to send text messages to anybody anywhere in the world. Super, super handy. You can also text back and forth between the inReach devices, and there's a lot of great functionality. Folks at home can actually track where you're at and check your progress. If you're backpacking in the backcountry or something like that, folks at home can check on you and know your exact location. Also, there's an SOS button. If you run into an emergency where you really need emergency personnel to give you assistance, there's an SOS button. They're going to get your location, and you're going to be able to communicate with emergency personnel to let them know what your emergency actually is. As I mentioned before, I think that giving a gift to your loved one that tells them that you want them to be safe and you want them to come back home to you is a very, very thoughtful gift. One thing I should mention before I go any further is these devices do require a subscription plan. I think they start somewhere around $15 a month, and they have different plans that allow you to either pay by the month and you can go on again, off again if you're not using it all the time, or they have more of a contract plan that locks you into a little bit lower rate for the year. Now, this device, the inReach Explorer Plus, is the high-end device here. It has not only the satellite communication features, but it also has some GPS features where you can load maps into it and things like that. If that price is a little steep to you, but you still want the functionality of the inReach devices, the satellite messenger, they have multiple different models. Another one here is the SE model, which is $290 right now. And this one has all the same communication features, but it is limited in the mapping features, the GPS features like that. So maybe if they already have a handheld GPS, then they could get away with something like this. There's also an inReach Mini. And then also, if you're interested in buying this for an even cheaper price, this company used to be called DeLorme inReach. And if you go onto eBay, you can find some of the old DeLorme inReach devices for an even more discounted rate, but they'll still work with the new Garmin plans to give you all of that communication access. Again, I sold mine in the past and I wish I wouldn't have, because there's times I'm hunting with no cell phone signal or fishing with no cell phone signal. I'm by myself, and I just really like having that for the peace of mind to know if I have a problem, I can get a hold of help and have help on the way. These are my 10 Christmas gift ideas for this year, 2019. Again, if you haven't seen it, go watch the video from 2018. I've got 15 more gift ideas for the hunter or fisherman in your life. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. And until next time, remember to get off YouTube and get outdoors into God's great creation.